Remorse.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Today we are discussing what game?
Headsnatchers.
Right. So here on Buyer's Remorse, we find games that have been unplayed in each other's libraries, games that we have bought already but not bothered to try, and force each other to give them a try for 60 minutes to find out if they are a dreaded Buyer's Remorse or a wonderful Buyer's Confirmation. So, Headsnatchers is one I've actually played.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I believe, I don't know, is there a free version and then extra DLC, or...
When I looked it up, it was $15, basically.
I think I might have played on a free weekend, or maybe I was able to snag it at a time where it was free or super cheap.
Did you play with someone?
I did.
Maybe, did you do remote play with them for free then?
No, I played with my nephew, who I think also has the game.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can do remote play with this one. Do you know?
I think... I don't know. I'm not sure if it popped up or not.
When I played it...
Remote play is a new thing. It's kind of new.
It was a while ago when I played it, so I don't think remote play was in effect yet.
Right, yeah, because remote play only went in was it 2020? 2019? Something like that?
I think it was 2020.
Yeah.
Which couldn't have come at a more perfect time.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about Headsnatchers.
All right, well, it's published by a company called Iguana Bee, which I love as a name. That's a very cool name. And it's, $15, which we'll get to that in a minute.
You didn't pay $15.
I definitely did not. I got this free. I don't, because this isn't a game that I would ever have had wishlisted or anything. Someone has forwarded me like a free thing, like deal, or a free giveaway on Indie Gala or something like that, and said, here. I think this game's meant to be played with a controller, but I took one. I took one for the Team PC Master Race, and I proved that anything is possible with a keyboard and mouse. I did pretty well, man, to be honest. You see the footage, man. It's not impossible with a keyboard and mouse, but it's a combination of two things that make it difficult. One is it's an isometric view, which never helps, regardless if it's with a controller or a keyboard, to be honest. Although we've had a lot of practice with the Ocean bundle, with that whole isometric view. And also it gets pretty tricky on a keyboard because you're pressing combinations of like 5 keys at the same time, or like ding, 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 ding in a succession together, which can be quite complicated. And then the second one is that the developers who make games for controllers really have got no idea what they're doing when they plug in the key map for people like me. Like, the key map is just ridiculous. It's the WASD or the arrow buttons, and then you've got U, I, J, K, and L. And where these all do the different things like dash, shoot, drop, fire, the elbow drop move. Why? You have a mouse, use it. And to add insult to injury, there's no remap. So you can't change the keys. So I'm already off to a bad start. So there's the option screen. You got a lot of mini games. You got Tornado, which is a 2 to 4 player game. You got the Tag Team, which is a PvP, 2 versus 2. Online is online. I'm not really interested in that either. Roulette was some kind of online TV show. It didn't work for me. I think it's multiplayer.
Okay, so now that you say that, now I remember this is what we played. And we played, I think, when I was visiting. So I think we were playing in person. We were doing couch play.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, if roulette is what I'm thinking of, it is a way to randomize which of the mini games you're playing.
Okay. Because there's like 16 mini games or something like that, isn't there? There's a lot.
And so basically you do this and it will pick 3 or 5 games, something like that, for you to compete against.
Okay.
With this background of an announcer saying, who's going to win? All that kind of thing.
Okay. But then we've got, you've also got, for some reason, a sticker collection. I got some stickers. I don't know how I picked them up. You got the single player mode, which is Zombie Castle, which is what I played. And you got head creation, which is create a head, of course. I made this awesome alien head. It kind of looked a little bit like Donald Trump. He had like eyes on stalks, feet for ears. And then I exited and I lost it. And I spent like 10 minutes making it, which I thought I didn't have a button to save. It didn't prompt me. When I left, it wasn't like, are you sure you're going to lose your head? It just was like, oh, okay. Unless for the single player you can't choose your head. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, I lost my head, so I wasn't happy about that. So
I think we do need to bring up the fact that it's called Headsnatchers because most of the mini games, especially the multiplayer games, involve you stealing somebody else's head and doing something with it.
Yeah, and that's what the single player is as well. Let me tell you about the single player then. Did you play the single player? No.
No, I think I've only ever played the Versus.
The Versus one. So yeah, Zombie Castle, isometric platformer. Basically, you're trying to rescue your girl who looks a bit like Skeletor, and she's been captured by this flying eyeball kind of thing, taken into the zombie castle. And so basically you run kind of like Naruto, like with your arms flung out behind you like this. And you got to run along the battlements of this castle. It's not very wide. You've got the first stage or the first level is lava on each side. And you just basically got to run always at like a northwest or a northeast angle, which is just a pain in the butt really. But yeah, so you run, jump, dash, shoot, hit with baseball bats to the zombies. And there's 5 levels per floor, 5 floors, and that's what Zombie Castle is. And so, how do I know that that's it? It's because that's how it took me exactly an hour to beat, minus the 10 minutes of Donald Trump's head. So, yeah, I finished it, and it was a decent hour. Every level you get like this little cutscene of like the Headsnatcher running along, and he's like all these little think bubbles about how he's going to get his girlfriend back, and they're going to drink martinis and stuff on the beach, and it's pretty cute. It's basically like Mario, like the princess is in another castle kind of bit at the end of every 5 levels. But so yeah, so basically each level has its own theme. It's got the enemies get gradually more difficult to deal with. You die over and over again, but there's no lives, and there's a semi-decent flag kind of checkpoint system as you go through. But basically, so you die by falling off the ramparts, or if a zombie catches you, you can mash a space bar. If you don't mash it enough, the zombie kind of plucks your head off. You can also lose your head if you've got like spinny blades or electric barriers or something. If you touch that, your head just goes boom and flies away. If you can get to your head first, because you're not dead, if you can get to your head and pick it up, you can put it back on, and then you can continue. But if a zombie picks it up, it kind of eats your brains, I guess, and it's back to the checkpoint with you. So level 1, lava, normal zombies. Level 2, it's just like darkness with like weird, like purple torches. It really reminded me of like Cavern Escape, that color scheme, like black and purple. Then you got like fastball pitcher zombies who like throw green balls of snot at you or something like that. And you got dogs for some reason that you can feed the zombies' heads to. And in level 1, you just step on a button to open a door. But in this level now, you gotta hit the zombie, knock them out. Because once you get knocked down, you got like the kind of tweeting birds, and then you can pull their heads off. And then you have to mount them on like statues. Some doors, the easier doors just have 1. Some of them have more. Or there's levels where you like throw their heads into like a flame as like a sacrifice or something like that. Level 3 was like an electrical level, an electrical themed level. Level 4 was an ice level, which I really loved. Not many enemies in that one because it's the trick is controlling it. And then the 5th level is like space. I don't know. It's like some weird astral plane level. It looks like the astral level from Control or something like that. Can't believe I just compared Headsnatchers to Control, but yeah. But basically, you get to the end, you defeat a big boss who is like the flying eye thing. He's in this giant robot machine. Basically, you just shoot him. You just like, there's a couple of zombies on screen. There you go. On screen, you hit them, you take their heads off, you put their heads into a cannon, and you shoot at him. Meanwhile, he's like, there's just like a clusterfuck of things going on the screen. I was flailing around like a rag doll, and it was just pure luck that I beat this level. Because you can't die. It's just absolute luck. And so you shoot him with a cannon, you escape with your Skeletor wife, the end. And it's really cool because I got proof that I played this for the hour. Because like, as soon as you finish, it's like, you get a cheat, you get these like not Steam achievements. Like, it's like sometimes the game has like in-game achievements. So it's like, you played for 50 minutes, you played for 30 minutes, you played for 45 minutes, you played for 1 hour. It's like, hey, there you go. Perfect for this. But yeah, so yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it. I just ran through that really quickly, but there's not much to it. There's really not a lot to it.
Well, that's the single player. Those watching the video will see that it's a very cute game.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are just listening, they may not. It is a very cute game. Everything about it is round and bright colors.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of the game is you're snatching other characters' heads. So if you were to play the multiplayer versus, for example, it's just all different mini games. So try to get the other player's head through a basketball hoop, or kick it into a soccer goal, or get a strike with it, bowling with their head, or launch their head out of a cannon first. First one to get the other head into a cannon and launch it wins.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like, it really is fun. It's a bit of a shame that you didn't get to experience that side of it, but I would like to think at some point that you might. It is a lot of fun. It's not perfect, and these kind of mini game, party game style of play, it's not my ideal type, but occasionally it's fun to get out and play. And I think that you would enjoy that, and I would definitely recommend, if people get it or if they're looking at it, that you'd probably want to look more at the multiplayer side of it than the single player, which sounds like 1 hour is enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. I watched some videos of it to see what I was missing. Because first of all, I was like, how did I get this? What bundle did this sneak into my library on? No idea. All I know is I did not pay $15 for this. I probably would have paid $1 for it. But I don't think I would have even have wishlisted this, because I would have looked at the game and went, oh, it's a multiplayer game. Not interested. But to be fair, the multiplayer stuff does look really fun. It's you basically, against 3 friends. You pull each other's heads off and you bowl them. You feed them to fish. Shoot them out of cannons. For a few friends in the same room, this would be a total win. But honestly, this is what I realize, man. More and more, I hate co-op games, and I understand why now. Because, if I'm not in the same room as you, it's really frustrating for me, because multiplayer games are not doing the things that they were originally designed for, in my opinion. Which, I get it, it's 2021 now, things have changed, and this is what multiplayer is for more than one reason, pandemic being one of them. And we can't be in the same rooms together. But if I'm not in the same room as you, drinking a few beers with you, sitting down with my friends, laughing at each other's failures, it's not the same when you're just sitting alone in a room and laughing to yourself, to me, I don't get that. But now I'm starting to realize why I don't like online play. And it's because back in the day, sure, we've got things like Discord, we've got voice chatting now. It's a poor man's substitute for actual physical contact, in my opinion, in the same space together, where you can toss the controller to a friend, tap out for 30 minutes, be like, okay, I'm losing the plot, I need to cool off. And it's not the lockdown that's got me all morose about this. I think it's just age. I miss those days of couch play, even for single player games, man. Back in the day when me and my friends we would watch each other go absolutely mental on a 5-star GTA killing spree and see who could kill the most people, or who can get the tank, and who can just ride the kind of the rodeo bull until they get wasted,
With us, it was, you need to get to 5 stars, and then how long can you last?
Right, yeah. You just got this tank, and you've got the turret pointed behind you, and you're just spamming fire so you can get that little extra boost, seeing if you could make the tank lift off. Just doing crazy shit like that. I miss that. And it's not just for crazy things like that. It's getting super focused in Crash Bandicoot when we were doing the time trials together. You get so angry and pissed off. You're just right, you do it. And then they'll take it. We had this rule, like you can have 3 goes. You can have like 3 rage quits, but then you got to quit. But someone would always say, "No, I'm in the zone, man. I'm going to do this." It's like, that's your 5th time, Mike. Give the controller up. But even for things like calmer, more relaxing games, like putting 3 or 4 heads together to solve Myst or to sit down with a puzzle game and be in the same room, I really, really miss that. I don't dislike co-op. Maybe that's unfair. I dislike what it's become, and I don't like what it is today. It's just sad and lonely to sit alone in a room for me. But I get it, because you can't. I'm sure everybody would love to be in the same room playing together, but you just can't, because we're in different parts of the world, we're in different cities, and when it's illegal to get in the same room together.
This is where I differ.
Yeah.
I do miss that. I do miss the playing a game, just really binge playing a game together, a single player game where you're working together, looking for, like you said, how to solve the puzzles, or just how do I beat this boss?
Right.
Or you'll have one buddy who's really good at the boss fights and I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as it gets to the boss fight,
yeah.
hand it off. I do miss that. And I would say that I do prefer that in many ways. However, there's no way that I could have been playing with people on the other side of the planet when we were younger.
Right.
And now I can. And I think that this is going to be a way, I think, for families and friends who grow apart physically, distance-wise, to still stay in contact in some way. And I think that it's the type of thing for me, I'm very much what I would call like a side-to-side talker for many things. So I'm not much of, I want to get into small talk and I want to just talk about how was your day. I really want to talk about bigger things usually. But if we happen to be talking about the small talk day-to-day stuff while playing a game or while watching something, then that works much better for me.
Mm.
I'm doing something else that I'm enjoying, and then also having this.
Right.
Whereas normal day-to-day small talk, I really don't want to do the small talk,
Yeah.
So that, for me, I think this is a way to keep the long-term relationships going in a way, especially the friendships, to keep those going in a way that, I mean, when we were younger and we didn't have that, even with having things like email and the early days of social networking like MySpace, you still lost people, And I think that this is a way where people will be able to keep that going more. So I think that it may not be as good in the short term of getting just random friends together, but I think it might be better in the long term of keeping the friends that are important to you, keeping them in your life.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I know you're a big proponent of co-op play, and I get it, yeah. It's just, I finally worked out, managed to get it into words why it doesn't connect with me, and it's because I'm just an old, miserable git now.
Fair enough.
I was going to say, well, yeah, I would recommend this game to you because of what you just said.
So would you recommend the single player? You think it's worth it?
I think it's worth it. I mean, it's not worth $15.
No, but I already have it. So what difference does it make?
I would say for you, yeah, I think you'd like the single player. It will take you an hour, and it's you get a cutscene in between every level. They're pretty funny. You know how cute the levels are. I did mean to say this before, is that I was playing it and my daughter was watching, and she was like, "Oh, that's so adorable!" Because every time you jump, when you land, it's like this little plushy toy squeaky. It's pretty cute, man. I've got to give it that.
I assumed she would like it. If you guys could find a way to play against each other, I think then you would have a lot of fun with that.
That would be, yeah.
Someday in the future.
Maybe.
So would you recommend it to our listeners?
I would recommend this. Like you said, the multiplayer looks like where it's at, right? And that's where the bulk of this price tag is. If you're a single only player, get it for $1. Get it for the hour. Done. That's a good value for money right there. 15 hours of fun multiplayer. Do you think that's possible?
It's possible if this is your type of game.
Right.
But I would always, I'm cheap, so I'd always recommend the half
of
off
course, the sale.
I assume you could probably get this one for around $5, and I think it'd be worth that.
Did the levels get stale or anything for you? Like, did you have...
there are enough mini games you were saying that, especially if you're putting on roulette where it's random.
Right.
Then, no, you could easily play it for an hour or two at a time if you're with the right person.
Right.
It's just not my kind of thing. I wouldn't want to keep doing this over and over again.
It's like a kind of a Jackbox thing where you'd only play it every once in a while with friends. You wouldn't want to overplay it, kind of thing.
Probably.
Right.
I don't think this is going to be on the level of Super Smash Brothers or something like that.
But it's definitely better than Uni.
Yes.
So tags, I'd say keyboard unfriendly, mostly multiplayer and cute.
Excellent. And is this a buyer's remorse or a buyer's confirmation?
It has to be a confirmation because I 99.9% know that I got this for free. It's not on my wish list. I don't think I would have bought it, like I said before, knowing that it's mostly a multiplayer game. But I had a lot of fun with the single player, so yeah, confirmation.
Buyer's confirmation.